What's goody, everybody? It's full-time trip. We're back in the building. Port Vale 0, Arsenal 2 in this Carabao Cup third round match, I believe. Not many people, not many big clubs, you know what I'm saying? Well, most big clubs, except for a few, make it to the fourth round. Sorry about that, United. But, you know what I'm saying? I had to throw that jab in there real quick. But hope all you guys are doing well. Really quickly, don't want to take up too much of your time because this is a pretty straightforward video. Not too much to report back with, honestly. You can go into depth and layers about some of the things that we saw this game. But overall, just a good day in the office. Again, we opened our account 8 minutes into the game with a really well-worked goal between, I believe, Martinelli, a great dummy from Myles-Lewis Skelly, and then Eberechi Eze lets the ball roll across his body, uses the defender as a little bit of a shield, gets that ball in on the other side, right-hand corner of the goal, gets it in, and that's our first goal in. Throughout, again, maintain the lion's share of possession and control of the match. Had a couple of shaky moments here and there, but probably very few and far in between, and most of them were in the second half, to be real. But a beautiful Saliba long ball gets right into Trossard's path, and he controls it, he brings it down, and he finishes at the near post to get us the killer, the dagger, and finishes off the game with a really solid finish. And it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Again, good game. We got tune-up minutes. We got people coming back from injury. A lot of good things are happening, and it wasn't too much of a stressor. There was a little point of contention with Asaka and somebody stamping on his ankle, but we're gonna hopefully be, and I believe that is just nothing. That's minor. That is something else. I don't agree. It is what it is. But hopefully, that's minor. But overall, I saw some good stuff. I saw some pretty good stuff. Overall wasn't the most, again, wave after wave of attack in terms of like the shots on target. I would have loved to see more shots on target in certain respects, but I'll leave it how it is. My overall thoughts about today was, I hope as we get more healthy as a squad, as the stars start to return, a lot of these midfielders start to get into real flow. I hope we are able to see more of these performances where we field multiple eights in the midfield. Like, again, if we have situations where maybe a Declan Rice could be paired with an Odegaard and an Eze, and an Nwaneri and an Eze, or whatever, what have you. I hope in certain situations we're able to field more of those creative midfields, and I think we're going to see more of that. I can't speak definitively on, again, a lot of the creation issues or attacking issues, quote unquote, until we have our healthy, full fit squad. So I'm not going to speak conclusively on any of those things. I know I spoke last week about the selection issues or selection, I guess, dilemmas that exist. Again, we only know information insofar as who we'd want to see, rather than the fitness levels and all that stuff and the dynamics of pressing and blah blah. So I can't speak conclusively on it, but just giving my thoughts. When we get to a squad that is healthy, a squad that is fully fit, I think then comes the questions of how protagonistic can we be with our lineups and our selections and how we employ those things. But I thought today, again, Port Vale, clearly an inferior side. No offense to them, but also credit to them in another side note, because they were very well drilled. I thought they pressed decently well. Again, they just ran off and tired legs in the second half. It is the fitness level difference, but I thought they were well coached. I thought they were well drilled. I thought they blocked up in a very, again, strong and compact manner. And again, we found some difficult moments to try and break them down overall, which I thought, credit to them. You can only set up how you set up if you're clearly an inferior opposition. You could ask Man City. No, I'm playing. Let me chill out. But I thought they did, again, as well as they could in those moments, but we relegated them to mostly nothing. And then we just had our ways to go about attacking the situation and trying to get again, more goals out of the game. But I liked the inclusion of multiple eights. I liked some of the things that I was seeing from Myles-Lewis Skelly. Again, him being back was a really good cameo. Ben White was also a really nice cameo to see him back. And one thing I'll touch on with his point that I also saw for the second goal, that the level of variety in passing from our back line is something that I want to continue to look for throughout this season. For the way that we're approaching teams and the way we're approaching attacks, how we approach the goal to equalize against Man City, us adding variety into these attacks and modes of possession and strains of possession, a lot of that will be added to with the presence of the passing that each of our players in the back line has. So that ball that Saliba gave, again, Ben White gave an example one, like probably sometime in the first half. I can't remember what minute, but he gave something of that similar ilk, and he usually does that. He's one of the, like, I guess the most common initiators, if not the most common initiator of that type of pass, in my opinion, over the past couple of seasons out of our back line. And we need to see more of that. Saliba executed that very, very well in that second goal, and that opened things up to a good bit. But when we see more of those passes being, again, executed, and you're seeing those runs being recognized, because I can give you a million instances when Martinelli's made those runs, and maybe a Declan Rice has even made those runs into that last line, trying to go across and get a ball over the top, but they just don't get service. I think that's something that our backline needs to recognize and try to employ a little bit more as we're going across season, to add a bit of variety and danger, and ask, again, additional questions of defenses that we come up against. Ben White, again, it's good to see him back so we can help, kind of recognize some of those patterns and some of those potential situations where we can employ it. And it was great on Saliba for executing that in the second half to kill off the game and help kill off the game. So that's one thing I definitely want to look more forward to as we're going along. Yeah, I think overall just a pretty straightforward game. Not too much about it. Overall, you could be nitpicky and say, oh, I wish this person had a couple of more tighter touches, or this person a little bit more forward on the ball, attacking on the ball. But I'm not going to complain too much, man. We got our 3 points. Overall, we, again, handled the game well. Wasn't much that we had to deal with, in a sense. It was really that. But outside of that, what I'll say is my man of the match is not any of the goal scorers, actually. I think my man of the match still remains Ethan Nwaneri. I think you could give it to Eze. I thought Eze, maybe the goal will push him over the top. But for me personally, from what I've seen of Eze and Nwaneri in terms of his minutes, what he's gotten, and how just seamless he has, just found himself in the midfield pockets in an area where we find typically a lot of difficulty in accessing central spaces and finding our way through in those different avenues in those central areas. He's just fantastic. He's he's damn good. He's damn good, and I hope to see more of that across the season. I hope he gets more of those opportunities as, again, all the fitness and all the selection things come into fruition and everything's in full flow. That performance, I thought, was probably one of the best among the pitch across the 90. Was just the level of his touches, just the activity he had, the proactivity that he was looking for certain things, individual quality. I thought he was really, really good, especially with his link-ups with Eze throughout that midfield. I thought both of them were probably our two best players in my opinion, and it was good stuff. So Nwaneri is definitely my standout player of the match. I don't know what else is out there in terms of stuff I should even cover. Listen, it's Port Vale. Shout out to Port Vale. They put out a good effort, but my focus was, again, rotation. Can our fringe players and folks coming back from injury get some good time in and get us all ready for Newcastle? Newcastle on Sunday is going to be... Woo! That's going to be a doozy, baby. That's going to be a doozy. I don't know what the hell we going to do, bro, but I can tell you this for sure. We're going to need these technical players to play football at SJP, because it's not going to be fun. I'll tell you this right now. It's not going to be fun, but we'll see what happens. We'll lock in and check into it, but let me know what you thought about the match, your favorite performances, what is the best goal out of the two, anything that you want to let me know. You make sure you let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'm gonna keep this brief, man. My name is Full Time Trip. That's all the time we got, and let me get up out of here. I'll see y'all Sunday, man. I'll see y'all for the Newcastle game and all the recap and stuff after it. But you through the next round, easy money. COYJ. Peace.